I didn't think this one was going to happen, Chris.
We've got a lot in us.
And I've got a lot to give.
I'm here.
He's here with the comeback. Tell me about it.
I drove a lot of ways.
How many ways?
600 miles.
Really? Is it that long?
It's far. But I'm here. You said I was going to be too tired. I'm ready to fire it up.
Well,
Disturbed new song. Fire it up. Right?
Fire it up.
When I need some inspiration, I need a little illumination.
A little drain man.
Rejuvenation in the Islamic
nation. Did you just say Islamic nation?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew you had ties, but jeez. Okay, let's get how. Wow. So I originally thought that you were gonna, like, if I had to drive that distance, which was what, 9-10 hours. How long was it?
Yeah, it's 9 hours.
All I would want to do was go find some bed, and then I found out you had nowhere to go. I didn't know about that.
I didn't either, really.
So we had to hoist him into the RJ3K tower with a bunk sleep bed. And I was like, all right, power's been out. It's a little hot, but I'll whip you in, get you through the security clearance,
when you said the power was out, and I said, oh, no, this is bad.
I didn't get a response.
Really serious.
I was wondering, the thought did cross my mind, does he have nowhere to go? And I was like, surely not. Surely not. But gee willikers, it's true. He's here and he's going to stay. Chris now lives in the basement of the RJ3K Center Entertainment Sportsplex. And that's where we are now. We're broadcasting live across ATL. Ready to hit you up in the 428, or what is that? What is the area code here? I don't
404.
know. 404. Is it really 404?
Yeah.
It's like the error?
Yeah.
It's an error of a city.
Oh.
It is. I don't like it very much. I want to get out of here. I want to go somewhere like Austin. You had something you wanted to talk about.
Well, it's been about 5 or 6 weeks since we've last.
Has it really? I thought it was like 4.
I left right before July, so it's
shit.
Yeah, it's about 5 or 6 weeks.
It's been a while since I first saw.
I live in an apartment complex that has some stray animals digging around.
Raccoons,
cats.
Raccoonteers. I love that band.
Mostly cats and raccoons. That's a Jack White thing.
I don't like it.
That's a Jack White.
Jack White is forbidden.
He likes to
Jack White blacklist.
He likes to say something and then just a wicked guitar solo.
Oh,
that's about it.
The idea that he made Icky Thump a successful single is incredible to me, because so much of that song is just...
It sounds like bagpipe.
Idiot music.
Right. Idiot music.
Now he looks like an old fucking swollen up, shriveled prune. Can you be swollen and shriveled?
No.
What are fat old people? We need to stop getting off course. We need to get on track. What about this animal?
Okay. I found a stray cat. We've been seeing this cat. We've been seeing this cat around. Dan and I.
Dan the man, D-Boy Slim, hitting them up.
D-Boy Slim. We've been seeing this cat. Real friendly cat. Real nice. Real friendly. Real personable. Likes to purr. Likes to meow.
A lot of fleas, though, right?
No, I checked. So, keep seeing it around. No collar, nothing. Seems like it might be abandoned, maybe. Maybe someone kicked it out, they moved.
Well, did it get feral?
Look, listen.
Give you some fever lice?
Listen. Picked it up. I put up a little bit of a fight.
Oh.
Got a lot of scratches up and down my arms.
Did you get cat scratch fever by Ted Nugent?
No. Kept it for about a day. I was just sitting on the couch with it. Perfectly fine. Normal cat. Great. Friendly. Great. Awesome. Starts foaming at the mouth. I get scared. I'm just thinking to myself, we picked up a rabid cat. So just like, without thinking, I open the door. I'm like, get the fuck out.
Did you get that bat and hit it just like that possum?
No. I just threw it out. I start looking at things about rabies.
10-story window.
I start looking at things about rabies, and I'm realizing if that cat had rabies, I'm in real trouble. Do you know about rabies?
I know about the shot you get when you might have it.
Do you know what the consequences are?
The end of this podcast is going to be very interesting.
It could be.
What? What are they?
As soon as symptoms show up, no one's ever survived. I didn't know it was that serious. So I start looking things up. I live right next to, seriously, the largest concentration of, like, hospitals.
It has to be a bite, though, I thought.
It doesn't have to be. The thing about rabies is it's really fragile, so as soon as it touches the air, it kind of, like, breaks up. But I got scratched. It didn't bite me, luckily.
Did you bleed?
A little bit. Yeah. So,
fuck.
Figure out, I go to the hospital. I'm just, like, kind of scared because, like, this is serious. I didn't know it was that serious.
See, this is why you don't fuck with stray animals.
Yeah,
you fucking dick.
Yeah. Wait in the emergency room for about 5 or 6 hours.
Love it.
See a PA, and they just say, well, if symptoms show up, just come back. Well, they don't know how rabies works, obviously. Man, this was a rough night.
How long ago was this?
It was about 3 weeks ago, I think.
Oh, so symptoms would have shown. Maybe.
Yeah. But pretty much what the PA said is, you need to find that cat so we can quarantine it, and if it dies, you have rabies.
Oh.
So I'm just thinking, how the fuck am I going to find this cat now?
Fuck.
Actually found it, trapped it, got animal control to come by. 10 days later, they go, hello, is this... Hey, yeah, the cat survived. And I'm just like, oh, thank God, I made it, I'm fine.
So it was just playing possum with you. It was...
I think it ate something spicy and started foaming at the mouth.
Really?
I think Dan Man dropped something.
Did he drop some jalapeno peppers?
He likes spicy stuff. I'm not so into.
Does he really?
Yeah. I'm thinking he ate some scraps.
Started foaming at the mouth. Yeah, it's possible. That's really strange.
It doesn't have rabies. Cat got returned.
Because every time I eat it, like LA burrito, and I start foaming at the mouth, it's a good. I'm just like, it's just the Mexican
just
food.
The spice.
Just the Tex-Mex.
It was a real harrowing event.
I would be very upset because I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac, and I'd be up for weeks. I wouldn't be able to sleep. I'd be freaking out. I'd be waiting for the end. I'd start trying to make amends with people that I fucked over and trying to like see them one last time, calling up all those old girlfriends I broke the hearts of and left them hanging, and be like, one last time, baby. Yeah. That's what I do. So
don't pick up stray animals. I really didn't know.
I've actually got.
I had no idea rabies was that bad.
Yes. You've had a lot of run-ins because you confronted that opossum and narrowly escaped. That thing was hissing.
I didn't realize that if you get bitten by a rabid animal, the vaccination is like a total of like $50,000 to $100,000. It's a series of 21 shots.
Aren't they all in, like, the stomach or something, too?
I think so, yeah.
I hear they're really bad.
I've heard it's not so good.
I think they go. Oof.
It was just so strange trying to deal with that because nobody seems to know what to do. Like, I go
in 2016.
I go to an urgent care, and they're like, oh, you came to the wrong place. Oh, I pay them $250 fucking dollars anyway. And they tell me, this is not the right place. Go to the Department of Public Health. Oh, we don't know what to do.
Wow, where did you end up? It was insane. After all, you already mentioned it.
I finally just caught the cat and was like waiting to hear if it was gonna die or not.
What a job! Just watch this cat and wait for it to die, possibly. That's but what I want to get paid for.
The cat ended up being microchipped, and we got it home. So
microchipped. Wow.
It all ended up okay.
It's interesting that you
a run-in with death.
Seriously, faces of death, almost maybe. I don't know. Maybe I did want to bring it up somehow, but my old roommate from college, man, The first one, he's, I believe, seeing a lady that has a big heart when it comes to animals. And every now and then I take a look at his Twitter to see what he's up to, see if he's doing all right. And, every now and then he retweets some stuff from her. And they've gotten into the habit almost of taking in homeless cats.
It's bad. It's a bad idea. It was stupid of me to do it in the first place.
Homeless stray cats. And they found one that was like behind a dumpster at like a Chili's or something. And then they found like some that were about to get hit on the highway, like a pair of like kittens or something that had some horrible shit disease that starts with like a C, like syphilitic carreter. I don't know. Look up cat diarrhea diseases.
Okay.
And they had to spend like over $800 trying to keep them alive because it's like a really difficult thing. And I'm just sitting here thinking, geez, guys.
You shouldn't have even
just come on. Like, I hate to be so cold, but God, was it worth it? Couldn't you just go to a shelter and like say, hey, here's some fucking cats. I hope their heads don't get cut off or whatever they do to them. Wait, do they gas them or something?
With a shot. Put a catheter in and shoot them down.
Put them in a microwave.
Shoot them down.
Sorry, your life can't continue. Shut you down. Yeah.
Man, yeah, that was...
Stray animals. Ugh.
I didn't even think about it the first day. I just, got a little scratch, obviously, but...
Oh.
Just didn't even think about it until it started foaming, and I was like, this is not good.
One day my mother was driving home, and there was like a pack of like 4 or 5, yeah, it was like 5 golden retriever puppies just like walking down the road. And obviously, oh shit, you got to do something about that. Those things are going to get swept up by a vulture real quick. And so she fucking brought them home, and I was just like, they're going to have rabies and shit, and one of them like bit her, and I was like, yeah, you're really not so smart, are you? And we had to keep them in the garage, and they got big really quickly, and they shit all over the place, and they were fun, but, that's not a good idea.
It's not always a great idea to just adopt an animal.
It's like at first you're like, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a great idea.
The first 24 hours, I was like, oh, we have a cat around now.
Then it's horrible.
Then it's just like, my life is in danger now.
Mm-hmm.
It was a real turn of events.
And they're hissing on top of the refrigerator at 3 a.m. and their eyes are glowing. And the hair on their back is standing up as they arch, and it's about to attack, and it's foaming, and you gotta go to urgent care. Speaking of urgent care, I want to talk about somebody who needs that.
I know what we're getting at.
Things. How long has this been going on?
This has been a build-up
for
about 2 or 2, well, not 2
a
years,
long time. Years, even.
Years, okay.
We've spoken about a man, perhaps a boy.
Well, he was actually a guest on the old channel. Oh, we got to mention that. You got to give full context.
You want full context? Fine, you'll get it. We've talked about Nick before on this podcast, here and there. I think there was one where I kind of ranted about his Facebook shares a little bit, But let me wind it back just a little bit. And yeah, I know you're sitting there thinking, hey, look, I'm just some new guy listening to this podcast. I'm this far in. I like listening to animals. We're animals. But this guy, it's worth you need to listen to this shit because this guy, it's quite the story. It's a big deal, and it occupied me.
That was almost a lamp fall.
Shut up. It occupied my time for some time.
Occupied my time too.
Great quote.
Not quite directly.
Well, you were like the
I was the mole, as I said.
Yes, yes. The man behind the scenes, the man undercover, the savior that made all of this pretty much the funniest parts of this possible. And I think your art will be the thumbnail.
Oh, excellent.
For sure.
Good.
For sure, because it's a masterwork, like an opus. Okay, so I used to have a friend. I'm just starting from the beginning.
Sure.
Tighten that belt, get ready, buckle up. We're going in. I used to have a friend in high school. I met him in 11th grade. He was in 12th grade. and we had a botany and zoology class together. That was the only class where like 11th and 12th graders could share the same classroom, I think. Or no, some advanced classes where like the dumb kids were like also there.
I took a music theory class freshman year of high school and
that
was
kind of
in
stuff.
only seniors. It was horrible.
Well, back in the day, he was a big stoner, smoked a bunch of that grass, devil wacky weed, wacky tobacco as Daniel called it. And he come back from lunch because when you were a senior at this private school, you could go off campus for lunch. It was a big deal, and he'd just go smoke at the park across the street and come back reeking. And I was so young and naive. I really didn't grow up much until college or get in any way knowledgeable of things until then, and I didn't know he was just blazed out of his mind. And he'd just yammer on about old movies with me. And it was interesting because I was going through like a film buff stage, kind of. And everyone there just wanted to talk about football and like hip-hop music.
What year was this?
2009/10.
Okay.
Yeah.
We met in 2010.
Oh. Well,
I just seem to remember like me getting really into movies was like me meeting you guys. So I was wondering if that was coinciding.
Basically, I didn't know anybody that was sort of a pseudo film buff. I'm definitely not that anymore because those guys suck. But man, he knew about all these old movies. I think like the first thing that got us yammering to each other for like 20 minutes was he knew about the movie The Frighteners, which I think was actually who was the guy that oh fuck, I really am not a film buff anymore, that did Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson did that. It was one of his early movies. It's incredible to think he went on to do like Lord of the Rings because these movies were I hope I'm right about that director. And I was just amazed because I love that stupid horror comedy. And he just knew about all these bad 80s movies because I was really into 80s camp at the time. And oh my god, it was incredible. And he used to be a much...
You don't really find people our age getting into the kitschy 80s
or that
like, horror
he
stuff.
knew about like a lot of like in-jokes from movies and stuff that I'd see on the internet.
I feel like people our age just know about like Indiana Jones and Blade Runner.
Oh,
maybe, like that.
Blade Runner?
That's 80s.
Yeah.
You know, one of the more popular
They don't even
stuff.
know about that. All they know about is like Transformers and The Purge. That's like
yeah, those are my favorite 80s movies.
No, just like movies in general. It's the only movies they know.
Food Fight.
Fucking Sausage Party. God damn it. Number 1 pick this week. Anyway, he used to be very discriminating about movies. I'm telling you. And he was kind of critical of a lot of things like I was. And believe it or not, he would do something he called roll and bowling.
Oh, I'm familiar with. I've heard of it.
Where he didn't have a good place to smoke his marijuana, so he would just drive around.
Pull out his longboard and go for a spin.
No, he was never that agile. And he would drive around, which is hilarious because it's just like you're waiting to get pulled over by a cop and then it's over. But whatever. And basically, I
remind me of getting
him.
pulled over by cops in a little bit when you're done.
I rode with him on those trips because I just like spending time with him and talking to him, and I knew the risks, and I did not smoke. I swear to you, I did not smoke. I just sit there. He'd always offer it to me, and I was like a scared young kid, and I was like, I don't know, because I was raised at a very shielded private school, and I was just like, I don't know, not into that shit. And scared, really scared. And so I never did it. I probably even said I'm good a few times. And so that was like our relationship. And then the summer after that, we would like meet at fucking Starbucks and get free water. And twice a week we would do this, and one person would bring like a Little Caesars pizza one day, and then the next day the other would bring it, and we just split it and fucking eat at Starbucks and talk about shitty movies and stuff, and it was just it was fucking great. It was so good. It was a great relationship. And then something happened. I went off to college, and he stayed home to go to college. And after my basically first year, and damn, how did it work? Through my sophomore year, I roomed with the guy I talked about earlier, whose girlfriend is obsessed with getting the stray cats, and we drove each other a little nuts and kind of outgrew one another, and for reasons I cannot bring up or explain publicly, we got to the point where we weren't on speaking terms and kind of burned bridges, or at least I did. And so this caused a problem because back home, that roommate, along with Nick, was a part of a friend group that, everybody hung out. It was like the old group from high school. And then it had to be, there's teams of people. You have to you can't hang out with both that roommate of mine and me at the same time. So that irritated people a lot because they either had to make special days where they'd hang out with him or just me. And I think that got under Nick's skin for some reason. Like it really bothered him. And I don't know how it happened, but that, and after that, I was in like my junior year of college, and we just kind of quit communicating. I don't know how. And then he started changing on Twitter and Facebook. Something happened. What's he kind of do? What does he do all day?
He became the opposite of the kind of hyper cynical, jaded movie, like discriminating taste moviegoer.
Mm-hmm.
He's the opposite of that. He takes everything in and spouts it back out.
I don't know if it was all the years of smoking way too much pot.
Something just broke.
Something in his head just like misfired and didn't stop.
Not to get ahead of ourselves, but at the end of what you're about to explain, he did say something on Facebook. I'm still friends with him, by the way. On Facebook, not in real life.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, sorry.
I hate that guy.
It says he posted something like, I used to be this way. I used to be so persnickety about everything, but now I just love everything. I just want to have fun with everything. And if people don't like that, then screw them. Or he said something like that. So he really
something happened. He had like in his mind some kind of awakening.
He reinforces it. He goes, and I changed for the better.
I think
he's just. How can you say you've changed for the better when you have no personality anymore?
The funny thing about me doing this
it's just regurgitation.
Is that you never really got to be around the guy that much even, yet he's become such a big part of our conversations and like half of what we text about.
He's like a very
archetype,
real example of the things we don't like on social media that you have interactions with.
Mm-hmm.
So you can like paint a picture of the guy and I can be like, oh yeah, I see that too.
Basically, he just shares memes and puns and like bad pop culture references with like crappy jokes stuck in them all day on Facebook. We really need examples.
It's like he has an audience. Yeah, you want me to pull some up?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Please.
Keep going while
they really started getting they got under my skin a lot when Game of Thrones was in season. And first of all, I hate when people post just like if it's like a very serious show and memes arise, as they inevitably do, about like the show and like people put those horrible white letters and stuff. Like, do you remember that one that was like the You Know Nothing Jon Snow one? What was that? It was like, oh God, it was like Tyrion Lannister talking about his father. Then it was like Daenerys talking about her father. Then it was like Jon Snow saying, I never knew my father. Or no, he knew his... Fuck! What was it?
Okay, well, here's a better example. The one with, like, it's Dario from Game of Thrones, and he just pronounces his name as Ario. And someone asks, where'd the D go? And he's like, I gave it to Daenerys. Just stuff like that. Like, it's not funny. It's not.
Just really, really bad things. And I'm saying, it's like he'd start in the early mornings and just go all day, like every 30 minutes, just some terrible meme. I'm scrolling through my text exchanges with Chris because
those are some of the highlights, aren't they?
Yes. He, like every now and then, like me and Chris had this sick habit pretty much where we would look at Nick's page just to like make ourselves go, oh, no. And I swear to you, it wasn't to make ourselves like feel like above him, like a lot of people would probably suggest.
It's just a real world example of like the stuff that people would post on Facebook and get shared.
Like so much of it, I just can't believe he's posting it. Like you'd get to the point where you just send me something like one of his memes with just the word "die"
or kill.
Like
here's one. Here's a good one. So the new Ghostbusters movie, the all-female one, that came out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you shouldn't have any expectations for it. You should go in thinking, oh fuck. Ugh, gross. Ghostbusters, who
at
the
least
fuck?
go cautiously, maybe.
Realistically, Ghostbusters, who the fuck cares? Okay, Nick, here we go. Ghostbusters was the tits.
Oh!
Pardon the pun.
No. Well, here's another one.
I'm wading through all the pictures of spiders
I
you
don't
sent
know.
me also.
We'll get into that. I don't know if this was actually one from him or just a really bad one you found, but it's like two pictures, or like two of the fairies from Ocarina of Time, and one of them has a mustache and like a hair piece on, and it says Feliz Navi's dad.
Right. Yeah. Oh no, where
That's
else
just
would I
the
get
kind
that?
of thing.
Where else would I get that? Here's one he shared from Arya Stark on Facebook.
Oh no.
The actual Arya Stark.
Oh.
This is why the city is called King's Landing. And it's
it's that one.
Tommen jumping out of the window.
No. I just wonder what. So often when I'm looking at these things, I think
Who is impressed by this?
of like him like sitting on the toilet or something about to share this, and like his finger hovering over the share button. Is like, this is gonna be so good.
He's like the third character of like a Beavis and Butthead cartoon. He just looks on his phone on the toilet and goes, this is going to be good.
But yeah, he'll just post things that I think are just like cancer. Just all day. Meme cancer. Just death, horror. Although, by the way, I wanted to bring this up. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I used to send you the same types of memes when they arose that were just so bad, and I'd comment on, like, I found one that was a page that was, I hate Overwatch. I think I've talked about that,
right?
The game. And there's a page on Facebook called Overmeme, and they posted some stupid thing, just an image, but like the little subtitle was "Being trash is a crime." And I just put underneath the picture, "The walls are closing in." Just like, that's how I feel. Just like I'm suffocating and drowning under all these memes.
There are also various stages of me realizing what that was.
Yes.
Oh, it's Overwatch! And it's Overwatch!
I was so happy with how that turned out. So anyway, Nick will just post these things that long story short, we just can't wrap our heads around anyone doing. Just like somebody that just does not get it. It's just the polar opposite of what we are and what we try to be online. So
he's like the hyperbolic meme man.
He's the meme
could
lord.
be a title.
It might be. That might be. So let me warp everybody up to speed.
Archetype is a good description.
The archetypal meme lord. I fucked up at my first college, came home and worked for a while, then tried college again when it was near home.
The one that he went to.
This guy happened to go to, Nick, yeah. And there was a day, maybe I talked about this, I don't know. I've told you for sure.
I know you've told me.
The Little Caesars incident.
And
it's so poetic that it was Little Caesars, too.
Oh, that's...
Because that was like the rock of our relationship in the beginning.
Yeah.
The foundation.
And that's how it all went away. Sort of.
Yeah.
The straw that
very
broke the
poetic.
camel's back.
I don't know if it was Memorial Day or something. Memorial Day fell like a Sunday or something this past year. I don't know. And
I think it's always Monday.
It made it... Okay, it was Monday. And so that made it a 3-day weekend. This school had some tied classes. Like, one day, let's say you took a math class, you had to take a math lab as well. The math lab would meet like on Monday or something. And then the regular math class would be on Tuesday. If Monday classes were canceled, any of them, they'd cancel the whole next day, which is ridiculous to me. So
I understand where that. Yeah.
It's Tuesday night. I'm going to my night class, and I'm running a little late. I needed to get some food. It was like 7:30, and the class was at like 7:45 or something. And so I go by Little Caesars, and I run into Nick. Nick is there. And I'm like, oh, hey, man, what's up? Sorry I haven't talked to you in a while, but I really got to get to class, man. I'm running a little late. And so I got the pizza and ran. That's a good sentence. But I got to the school and found that it was closed. He knew. Because he knew. Basically, like, after that, I called him and was like, what the fuck, dude? And he was like, yeah, don't you know? Classes didn't meet. And so I was like...
So he was just listening to you talk and going, what an idiot.
Pretty much. And so, like, what a big fuck you. Just, like, made me go all the way to the campus without even telling me it's closed when he knew. And I was like, oh my god, I can't talk to this guy anymore. And you know how I am about burning bridges or, like, the final straw moments. Like with,
if someone starts something, you're going to finish it.
Well, no, not even like...
That's pretty much what I've gathered.
Whatever. And so I was like, oh my god, I just... When he comes around, brings it up, or extends something to me, I will maybe communicate with him again. But you take that ingredient, the college incident, and the way he is on Facebook posting the worst things I've ever seen, just...
Now you've given me a reason to personally not like you, is pretty much,
yes.
Yeah.
And over time, he had just become, like, more and more, like, weird with me. Like... Because of the old roommate situation, I think, and splitting up the friend group, kind of.
Plus, he's like a contrarian, isn't he?
Not with the things he likes.
Well, I mean, in terms of, like, you
he just disagrees with he got to the point where he would just disagree with me to disagree with me.
Right.
And he just argue, but not, like, fun arguing.
Selective contrarian.
Like, just, yeah, being really difficult, and, like, if I liked anything, he would immediately dislike it, and I didn't know why he was being that way. And, you know... A few times I, like, helped him out, and I've done favors for the guy, you know, from, like, here and there, and helped him out. And, like, I loaned him all kinds of stuff all the time, and he'd never watch it.
Or he can't even give you a passing, oh, school's closed.
Yeah, and so I tried to get him on I wanted to do a podcast with him really badly, because back in the day, we used to have great, like, bullshitting, you know, shooting the breeze conversations. And he was just such an asshole about it. This is back on our old channel, and I basically just, like, stuck him in front of a mic. And he was just like, podcasts suck. I don't know anybody listen to this fucking podcast. You're so stupid. You're annoying. You're being obnoxious. And it was just like all of these ingredients just out of nowhere. Okay. Finally, we're caught up after, like, 25 minutes.
Right, that's fine.
We had to get it all set up.
It was the big event that happened
this past
over the, like,
month
5-week
or whatever.
hiatus.
This was so. Keep in mind.
Get to the meat and potatoes.
Keep in mind that Chris and I had this, like, thing of, like, almost every time we'd come over to do a podcast or something, we'd have to check out Nick's page first for a little while. At least I did. And
just something to cut our teeth on.
Yeah, just to, like, get ready. And so Chris is all up to speed with how bad Nick is and shitty. So
yeah, that's pretty much the primer you've given
Nick
me anyway, so
started liking everything. He would get so excited for things. Also keep in mind that Nick works, he vapes.
Right.
Which we have a big thing about
Recipe
vaping.
for disaster.
Or what was it Daniel called it?
Mouth fedoras.
Mouth fedora.
Apt.
Had no, and, like, he can't see why that's a problem. Okay, whatever. He got, like, arrested.
Right.
For, like, back in the day, he used to say, "Oh, anybody who gets caught with weed, you're just an idiot. You just didn't do something right. You're so stupid." I'm pretty sure he got pulled over and caught. Just knowing him, the hundreds of times a week he'd go out with weed in his car.
I mean, that is, like, really stupid.
Or maybe do it once in a while, but not, like, every day.
Yeah, that's your,
just
Murphy's Law. Like, it's gonna happen.
Be discreet about it. And so I think part of he was on probation or something. I don't know what happened because I didn't communicate with him.
He's not working for salary. He's working because he has to right now.
He had to do, like, community service to not have to, like, go to jail or something. And he worked at the Humane Society here. And he would post all the time on Facebook about all the hours he was getting there and how he loved working and how great adulting was. You had to do this because of like your sentence, dude. And you're trying to make people on Facebook like think that, oh, this guy's just got a big heart. He just loves working for free. What the fuck, dude?
Also, if you have to like talk on Facebook about how great it is being a grown up when you're 23 or 24, then there's something missing there.
Yes.
Like, you're really not impressing most people.
And you
might be impressing yourself if, like, there were loads of Nicks out there.
God forbid.
Loads of Nicks.
Oh, man. Well, basically, I think he finally, like, his sentence was up or whatever, and he got a job. He still lives with his parents, so his parents...
Oh my God, we had a splashdown. What was that?
A bug attacked my ear, I think. He finally got a job, and it's at a fucking vape store.
Of course, I forgot about
It's at a vape shop, and I just... Oh, fuck. So Nick has become just... It's like we wrote him.
It really is.
And
he has to exist. There has to be
a necessary evil.
Nick is the narrative of RJ3K. There's no two ways about it. He is what we routinely complain about.
And
it's all come to a T with these last few weeks.
I wish people could see that picture he had on Facebook where he was in that fucking driver's cap with that little bow tie and the bottles of wine in front of him. He was doing like his little pout. Oh, it's such a douche. All right. So Nick was getting really excited about Suicide Squad. Of course.
Oh,
if you follow...
First of all, something we've been trash talking for the last 2 years.
If you follow the timeline of us or Mega 64...
And not without reason, also.
You know the lead up, the build up to Suicide Squad, the battery of the marketing campaign has been so obnoxious.
It's viral marketing, basically.
All the stuff with Jared Leto's Joker and
right,
how
like
far he's gone.
C-list news outlets to report about how like Jared Leto would put a fucking
pig on the table.
He put a pork on my hork.
He sent used condoms to Margot Robbie. Oh, he's gone. Look at these 10 images of why Jared Leto has gone too far.
News posted April 2015. Movie comes out August 2016. Yeah, stuff like that. That's why. I mean, first of all, I don't like the way it looks. I think it's like the Edge Fest.
I mean, I'm the only one who's seen most of it. I'll get into that.
But it's something that I obviously don't like, and then just combine that with the viral marketing for the past 2 years. It's just
it's atrocious, and we all knew it was gonna. We called it. Like I
thought it was going to be critically acclaimed.
Oh, I was scared. I like had hopes more that it would.
Acclaimed is a little strong. I would say I thought it was
not hated.
I thought it was going to get like 70s and 80s.
Yeah, Well, Nick...
Also, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't assign their own reviews; they aggregate them.
Exactly.
Fucking stupid people.
Nick. Also, when Batman vs. Superman came out, the abortion that has like what, also a 27% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes?
Something like that.
And I saw that and walked out like toward the end because it was just so outrageous, and it actually dealt with stuff that I used to love when I was younger a lot and really pissed all over it. Nick was like everyone hated that movie, just like across the board. Like most people, like even dumb like vaping fans, were just like, yeah, that wasn't that good. Or at least they didn't talk about it or something. But Nick had to post on Facebook that I don't get all the hate for BVS. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was good. That movie is one of the it's so painful. It is like a fucking 6-year-old tried to write a Christopher Nolan Batman movie, but just was epileptic and stupid and fucked up and crazy. It is the worst thing ever. And so, of course, he's excited for Suicide Squad. Of course. Then he fucking changed his picture on Facebook to, that Suicide Squad avatar generator.
Oh, and it's still there, by the way, 2 weeks later.
Why? God. And, he has this bad nickname. Somebody once at a party called Nick, hey, you're that Nick Nolte guy. And so, Boy,
he really embraced that.
It was probably one person, one time, he's like, yes, That's my new thing. That's why I'm going to be that Nick Nolte.
I mean, anything's better than my actual identity.
I'm going to let other people make my identity. So, Nick made his Suicide Squad nickname was Carnivorous Captain Nolte. These people that like make Hunger Games like profile pictures and like the Star Wars lightsaber thing, like you are just the worst. You are the dregs of society, and of course Nick does that. So he's getting all hyped about Suicide Squad, and finally, I was waiting for it,
and we're just sitting on our Twitters, just going, "Oh fuck, it's Suicide Squad." I can list thousands of reasons why this should be.
You remember when the soundtrack was announced?
Oh yeah,
and it was like Skrillex and 21 Pilots and
yeah.
Oh,
Rick Ross.
Another thing where I said like, it was like we like picked it like what we would want to be like the shittiest soundtrack ever for this movie. It's like we curated it seriously, and then it was. So
it's seriously like if a catastrophic factory meltdown happened and Habo and Yeti and all that stuff actually like went out of production for a while. That's what is happening. We made a video about that. It really is like that. It's seriously everything that we really don't like.
Exactly.
And it's all in one. It's all in one.
And that's Nick. Oh, you mean Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Nick too. Well, so I mean,
he does add the vaping element, unless the Joker vapes.
No, that'd be so good though. Leonardo DiCaprio does.
Take that Oscar away.
Didn't deserve it anyway.
Oh, I totally agree.
So. Not that Oscars mean anything.
Bad movie year overall.
Yes. So, the night Suicide Squad premiered, I was so excited because I knew, oh fuck, the reviews are coming.
Bated breath.
The reviews are coming. Like, and I think it was the next day. It was Tuesday. I was at work, and finally, I saw the first one.
See, I was getting worried because like 2 days before, I was just looking up Suicide Squad review. And some blogger would be like, "Oh, first of all, it's mind-blowing." And I'd be like, "Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me." So I was getting really worried. I was thinking, "Oh, of course people are going to like it. It's a comic book movie. People like
exactly.
Those. Like comic book movies are like the most popular thing right now." So I was like, fuck, whatever. Okay, sure. That it was bound to happen. So I was getting worried. Man, it starts coming around. IGN 5.8. IGN gives like 8 and above to everything. Sausage probably got an 8.
Sausage probably. Well, finally it came out and it was like 35% on Rotten Tomatoes, like out of the gate.
Right.
And I was so
it was
excited.
Like Christmas morning.
Yes, it was like my present. And I was when I was at work, it's like all the scattered elements of my head suddenly assembled. Just like, I know what I'm going to do.
Oh, I had the total Nick on the toilet moment, and I was just in bed, just looking at my Rotten Tomatoes thing, refreshing it, and just going, oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I was, It was like 7 or 8 a.m. at work, and I was so miserable. And then I saw it, and I was like, oh, this day just became amazing. So I took a screenshot of it on my phone.
Right.
And I knew Nick was so excited on Facebook. And Nick, like, quit using Twitter because of me, he said. Like, because of how critical and mean I was.
So he went to Facebook where you don't
and
go
he blocked me a few times, and then he was like, I just can't do it. So he finally migrated to Facebook to bring his cancer. And, well, I posted on Facebook just the picture of the Rotten Tomatoes score. Before the audience score was even there, it was just the critic score or whatever. And I said the douchiest thing on top of it, called it, and it was like 33%. And so, like clockwork, Nick took the bait. He took the bait. I just knew everything we had been going toward, it had come to this. I just like, this is how it was going to unravel and end.
It's like the
was
writing
perfect
for this narrative all along is like as solid as like most of Breaking Bad.
It was like
it all came together.
It was like a reveal moment, or just like that moment where things click and it all makes sense.
I look at everything that's happened the past 2 weeks and I'm like, there's just no way we're not like in the Truman Show or something. Like, this is fucking impossible. This is everything we've been waiting for.
Finally, everything culminated into this one beautiful little abortion of a fiasco. So Nick indirectly responded to me on his Facebook page. Oh, keep in mind, I never post on Facebook unless
that's the best part.
Unless it's something that I really want to be a dick about, or like I want to really make a point. And I hadn't posted in like 4 or 5 months or something.
Yeah, the last thing you did on Facebook was share about David Bowie's.
Oh God, yes.
It's been
Jesus
more than a
Christ,
year.
how depressing. And so,
oh my God, I'm
bless you.
I'm
The
really
neck cancer.
down.
The neck cancer. All right. So Nick indirectly responded to my picture post with, I don't understand.
If you want.
Please, go back to the beginning. You're going to have to wade through all the memes, though, right?
I gotta wade through the memes and the spiders.
Let me explain the spider thing really quickly, too, just so people know. I tried to psychologically cripple Chris into finishing our Slackjaw emergency update video because he was taking too fucking long with it. And so I took advantage of something he doesn't like and sent him a bunch of pictures of spiders just here and there, usually at odd hours of the evening. Like, he might wake up in bed and go, oh! I don't know.
That's pretty much what
it just turned into a really stupid thing.
I actually saw one while I was eating, and I was just like, oh, I can't do this.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I gotta finish this. Okay, so you posted the thing about Rotten Tomatoes. Who gives a fuck what Rotten Tomatoes says about Suicide Squad? If you're silly enough to let a stranger give you a preconceived notion of how you should feel about a movie, then you don't know how to enjoy movies. No period.
No! Most of these people, are paid to do this for a living, so I hope they, give their reviews their best and, like, are trained in doing this. So I'll take what they say, like, just to get a general framework before I see something. It's not like I'm just going to make my opinion entirely.
We've talked about this. It's like it's like a base layer of paint.
Exactly.
Okay. Maybe I should give this my attention.
And so even if it's bad, I'll usually still see it. Like I saw Suicide Squad.
Well, you should have bought a ticket to Bad Moms.
Should have. Well,
what was it? Operation Kunis?
Yes. So after that, I was just like, this means war. It is fucking on. Like,
you both made like passive attempts at like
indirect
each other on.
Yes. And so I went back. I knew Nick had obviously seen what I posted. So I went back to the picture and like a couple of the guys from work had liked it. And I commented on it. Thanks so much, guys.
I effectively irritated the person I wanted to.
And
I think that's what
the next morning at work. I think it was the Thursday after all that. I tried to check Nick's Facebook page for my morning update of bad memes, and he had blocked me. Or not blocked me, but he unfriended and blocked me. Because if you unfriend someone, you still show up. They still show up. Like you can search them to add them again. But he had blocked me. It was like, this content is not available. And things were escalating to an incredible level. So I said, okay, I'm gonna make a total jackass of myself. I'm gonna take this as far as possible.
Hey, you've taken my Rocket League trash talking policy. If someone says something, I'm gonna fucking take it to the maximum level. I'm gonna go out of my way to make it miserable for them.
I don't talk to like anybody from like high school anymore anyway, and I don't care what I put on Facebook. I don't care if people are just like, what the fuck is this? This fucking weirdo unfriend. I don't care anymore. So I don't care. I don't mind making like this like a battleground and making public call-outs. So after this, I posted,
and I've got the counterpart.
Oh, so. Yes. Nick, formerly a good high school friend who had fallen out of contact with me, unfriended me after I messed with him here about the poor critical reception of Suicide Squad. He is that type of person. Know this.
Nick counters. Jay, formerly a good high school friend who fell out of contact with or shit-talked pretty much everyone who called him, quote-unquote, friend, comma, recently shit-talked me on Facebook, comma, in a paragraph like this, comma, after I not blocked him because he's that brand of obnoxious. He's that type of person, LOL, know this.
Oh. So he took, man, just as this happened, I was just like, oh my God. And you, of course, were my man, behind the scenes, sending stuff back and forth.
Because you couldn't see it.
Yeah, exactly. Keeping me up to date with the struggle. And so...
It's so funny I was doing this remotely, too.
It was
just
amazing.
Like 8.5 hours away, and I'm just like...
Amazing.
don't know, sending everything back and forth. We're working in tandem.
That's true teamwork.
It's so funny.
It is true teamwork, and I thank you so much, man. So, after Chris sent me what he posted on Facebook, I made a response to my original thing that I said about him that Nick made fun of, and said, the king of horrendous shared posts, vaping, liking every bad piece of popular culture, and not telling their friends that class is canceled when they don't know and start heading to class, has spoken. We even got a lowercase LOL. This is grade AAA dirtbaggery. And I posted the picture of Nick's status that Chris sent me. And I'd like to make a point here that's like so ridiculous. Or not the point, but like what I'm talking about. God, I'm tired. Oh, man, I'm tired. Man. In the picture you sent me of Nick's status, fucking like 6 people had liked it. And when you sent me the
list of the people that liked it,
like,
right?
Most of them they're either already on my friends list, and I've like never had like I've had like one conversation with them in passing, or like saw them at a party. And they don't know me at all, and I highly doubt that like Nick hangs out with them anymore, like cuz I know like specifically who each of them are.
Well, they're probably just like, oh, this looks interesting.
Yeah, or just like, uh-oh, someone's got beef.
Right,
I'm going to like this.
It's like,
and I'm just like, are people like just siding against me? And so I was just like, what the fuck? You just want to get involved with this and be a dick. So all these fucking people, these douchebags, liked his status too. But then a bunch of also liked mine. I think almost, the same number, 6 people.
Good. Yeah, you needed a united front.
And yeah, I texted you and was like, make Daniel, make Joe, make... I don't know. I'm not even like... I was just like, get them involved in this. Make them like it. I want a united front, which is sad, but whatever. Most of the people from work, like a lot of people from work and a few other people also liked it, but it's just like, what? And so...
let me interject here. Nick countered after you said, the king of all horrendous memes or whatever. He said, way to burn a bridge, Jay.
No, that's way after.
Is it?
That's way... No, This is where you stop knowing things.
Cut this out.
No. Trish just got a little excited.
Sorry.
You wanted to get to the end.
I don't want to look like a fool.
Tried to blow a slow deuce. Now, this is where it gets to the nitty-gritty parts.
Oh, okay, you're right. It was.
So, after all this, and Nick had blocked me, and he made that status calling me out, like I called him out, I was like, how do I take this to just as far as I can? Just so ridiculous.
Like it's already over. Let's just go all the way.
And so I took, we have a habit of editing pictures in Photoshop of celebrities and people we think are goofy, and making them really horrendous. A few of our thumbnails for our podcasts are like that. And I was like, I want to do this to Nick and just post it and see what happens. Because obviously, the same people that were liking his shit were looking at my page as well, probably, seeing what developed with me, because the beef was growing. And I was like, I want this to indirectly get back to him, but I don't want to post it directly. So I made a parody page. I created, and this is, I go too far, but like I was not going to lose. I couldn't lose.
I agree with that. I mean, like, if you're going to do something, do it 100%.
The Rocket League mentality.
If you're don't half-ass it, you got to go all the way with it.
So... And, I can see where a lot of people that are kind of more normal or not into, like, internet goofing and stuff would be like, wow, this guy's just, like, crazy.
Real-life loser.
Yeah, like, I'll get to that eventually, too. So I made this page and kind of, like, nurtured it for a few days. I got Chris to make the greatest Photoshop edits, taking some of Nick's profile pictures, and...
That'll be the thumbnail.
Yes. I want the people to see, to immortalize this whole thing. And... Like, you did one where he had just a giant fucking Suicide Squad vape pen. And, like, it said Suicide Squad on the tip of the vape pen. Like, there's so much to deconstruct. It's him standing in a vape shop in front of a fucking counter. There's, like, smoke billowing on the ground.
Yeah, he's, like, got a fog machine.
And it's like a fucking vape pen the size of a bat, which was so fucking funny.
He's got a Tool shirt on.
A Tool shirt. Oh, yeah, we make fun of him because Nick loves Tool. Every 6th grade tough guys.
Yeah, cool, man.
Favorite fucking, like, metal band. And Nick... saw Memento. Do you remember me telling you about this?
Yeah.
He got the lyrics from Zombie or something tattooed backwards across the side of his torso.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious. Backwards. Like, I'm talking lettering all down the front half of his torso. And backwards. Like in Memento, so only he could read it because it was that personal to him.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You didn't know that? Oh my god. Oh.
Oh my god.
This fucking fool. So, I thought you knew that. That's why the whole thing was so funny.
I had no idea.
Oh, this is a 24-year-old, 25-year-old guy. Like, what the fuck are you doing? 2 old tattoos, like 2 years ago. I remember there's all this controversy because he was like, I can't let my parents find out, man. I don't know, just don't say anything. And oh my god. And he spent like 800 fucking bucks or something because tattoos are expensive.
Oh yeah,
especially with the more ink you do. I don't know. I don't even know how he got that money because he wasn't working at the time. So, we made some beautiful pictures and, like, we made a real profile, basically. And I think the email was, like, Jedi Vape Lord.
Jedi Vape Lord.
At gmail.com.
Yeah.
And I kind of just combined, like, in the descriptions and stuff on Facebook, all the things I hate that people post on Facebook. Like, it's like, I guess I'm just me, LOL. Yeah. And just like stupid shit.
Education Jedi at Coruscant or something.
Like
Coruscant Jedi Academy.
You always find like the nerdy funny guy who like is like studied PhD in being a badass. Because Nick was always talking about how badass things were toward the end of my knowing him. It was so embarrassing.
Suicide Squad, Batman vs Superman, favorite books, LOL.
I put like just the worst movies I could think of. Like I fucking fleshed out this profile.
I added something, I don't even remember. I added Jack and Jill. Adam Sandler Razzie sweeping movie.
So we created just this full parody page of Nick.
Indistinguishable from the real one.
Except for, like, all the pictures were fucked with in Photoshop of him, pretty much. Like, you took that fucking one with him, the driver's cap, and it's like made him look so smug and like... And it was incredible. And so I was like, we need to wait until you're back, Chris, so that we can, like, do this when you're here. But then suddenly I was just like, I can't wait.
It was too good.
The page is perfect.
Too good to wait.
So,
well, you got,
it'd be like trying
the flames are hot,
Dogs
are cooking.
Not letting that thing loose would be like trying to sustain what you knew would be the best orgasm ever for like a month.
Jeez.
Just like blue balling yourself for like a month.
Balling
edging.
yourself.
And so I knew my plan of attack. I texted you.
This is the best part. You pulled. Listen, full circle. You did a viral attack on Nick. Because it wasn't directly to him. You let it get around to him without directly contacting him.
Exactly.
Suicide Squad marketing team. It's a oh my god, it's so perfect.
Inception. Sorry, I wanted to bring that back. So, finally, I shared a picture that I posted from the Nick Parody account on my account, and I waited to see if something would happen, and nothing did. I was like, okay, I gotta make this direct. So the people that liked Nick's original status where he was calling me out in response to me calling him out.
Into play also,
I was like,
a little more.
Chris, send me the names of everyone who liked that status. And I took those names and sent friend requests from the Nick Parody page to all of them. So what did he posted something about he genuinely thought that I was trying to like make a fake account pretending to be him.
Gotcha. If you get a friend request or anything like that from an account pretending to be me, it's just Jay, proving how petty he's become. Report that shit. Get him thrown in FB jail. IDC, he's a dick, comma, obviously.
Oh.
Unnecessary commas.
So, first of all, you don't get it. You don't get it, Nick.
Comma, obviously.
I was not trying to create a fake... I was not trying to, like, fool people. I wanted to make this was a parody account of you. I wanted people to see, like, what I saw of you and what I thought was so fucking stupid about you. And so, obviously...
You wanted the people to be like, oh, this isn't even that crazy, really, when you look at it.
No, well, I don't know what I expected. People are really dumb and don't get usually what I'm going for.
Right, yeah.
Or the kind of comedy we're into. And so, Nick, like, rallied his troops and got the page taken down for, like, impersonation. Which was totally not the thing. And I tried to fight it, 'cause, like, I was like, maybe I can get this back because it's just a parody. But they were like, okay, do you have the driver's license of the person you are alleging to be? And I was like, oh, fuck.
That sucks.
A form of military ID. And so I was just like, all right, whatever. I think he got the fucking point. But, okay.
A moral
The night of this incident where I first put the page up, Nick texted me after
I think this is the highlight.
Nick texted me after 2 years out of nowhere, and sorry for saying, but I trolled him yet again. I did it again. So the night after I sent out all those Facebook friend requests from,
if you want me to read the other voice for you, we can have it back.
Yeah. Well, no. Let me do it. Give me this. Just you give me this.
All right.
I can do the classic Nick voice.
All right.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
I can do
man.
your voice if you want. No, this is gonna get confusing.
Fuck it. And also, you don't have something you can pull through. You just have scattered pictures.
Okay, you're right.
So I did the shit right before I went to bed that night, and so I'm sitting in bed, and then it's 1:06 a.m. and I get a text from Nick. Do you really have nothing better to do? No question mark. And so I was like, it's been a long time since I texted Nick. I'm going to act like I changed my number or something, because it's actually really easy to do. And so Nick said, do you really have nothing better to do? Who is this? You're doing a great job of proving how petty you've become since high school. I'm sorry, but you've got the wrong number. And then he just said, Jay. Just he didn't say, I know this is, he didn't say, I know this is you, Jay. Just the word Jay. No. And I said, this is Buster. Where you from? Are you the guy I met at the Seder supper? Hello. By the way, the Seder supper is a Jewish feast or something, and I knew he wouldn't know what that was.
I feel like that would have pointed it out so obviously that it's you.
He's probably what the fuck is this? So this is where it gets juicy. Nick says, I'll contact your folks. I'm sure they'll love to hear about our history. Take the page down.
He gave you an ultimatum.
And this is something you pointed out to me that was all right, cool, dude. You're fucking saying you're going to snitch to the parents. That's your fucking plan of attack. How awkward is that? He was going to, call my fucking parents? We're both in our, early 20s. Yeah, can you imagine that? He was fucking bluffing.
I think, if my parents got a call, they'd be like, what are you doing?
Why would you do this to
stop calling
someone who's over, 18?
Oh, I mean, that'd be, still ridiculous.
And so I said, I'm sorry, but you've got the wrong number. Oh, wait, I already said that. Whoops. No, he said he'll contact my folks. I said, sorry, man, I don't know what you want, but if you want to talk something out, I'm at such and such apartments that are real out front. I don't like people fucking with me. I'm calling your folks, tomorrow.
No need for comma.
You did this to yourself. He just thinks he's got me cornered. He thinks I'm sitting here sweating. And I don't even think he has a directory or anything from the old school. It'd be so awkward. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. J's parents. Your kid's fucking with me on faith. What would he say? Make your fucking son. This is something the parent of a child would call other parents about.
Your dad would answer the phone and be like, "Oh yeah, he does that," or something.
Sorry, man.
It happens some time to time. He's always up there on his computer.
This is so lame. This is so fucking lame. He's so he really wants to take it down. If this happened to me. If someone made a parody account of me, I probably wouldn't be happy. But I'd be like, all right, whatever. I'd probably make another parody page to try to fuck with them too. Some fucking battle between parody pages. I wouldn't get genuinely upset. And that was where I knew I'd won. Because obviously he thought in his head that this thing was some great detriment to him socially. Oh, this can't be out here. This is horrible. This has to be taken down. He's really got... So I was just I've done it. I'm on top. Well, the conversation continued after I told him to come to my whoever's apartment. I said, yo, you talking to the folks? The fuck is this? And obviously I'm typing in a way that I would never type in my text because I'm kind of pedantic and horrible. I ain't heard shit since Mike went under, so if this is about those TVs, you can tell it to Leon. We got it if you come to such and such apartments. hello, for real, I ain't got no time for this shit. So if you want to talk, just call me. And I gave him my number. I was really just like, yeah, call me. Come on, call me. I was just like, I knew he couldn't. Like, this is how I confirmed that he really believed that this character I was playing, like, was real. He would not call me. But he gave me, I guess, this is so funny with the commas.
Oh, it's
listen,
unbelievable.
I guess, comma, high school meant nothing to you. How do you put a comma before, like, you just say, I guess high school meant nothing to you, not, I guess high school meant nothing to you.
Is he calling you high school meant nothing to you? Like, it just throws everything
So then I
away.
tried to make it look like whoever I'm posing as got really angry. I was like,
You sent a picture.
who is this? The only people who is this? The only people I keep up with is Leon and Corey. You fuck with me or my crew, we will fuck up. I meant you up. And then I said, step the fuck back. And I sent a picture of Mario from work, like, trying to look intimidating. And I said, come on. And so then, like, there was no response until 11 a.m. the next day. Well, it was technically 2 a.m. before, but whatever. And he said, oh, call me a tits, buster.
Oh,
You and your crew ain't got to do shit to a wrong number. Sorry for wasting your time, comma, BTW. I fooled this fuck. I fooled him so hard. This is where we get to the end of our long story, Chris. This is the part you know nothing about.
Oh, please. I'm so excited.
It's more sobering than anything. So, finally, after all this, Nick realized, oh, he changed his number. I guess I can't talk to him. First of all, the last time I talked to Nick on Facebook Messenger was in November of 2012 when he sent me
Lord.
something about Supernatural, about how much the character Castiel is going to be in the next episode. That's hilarious. It's just,
Where was I in November of 2012? Jesus.
Anyway, so now it's 2016. Nick decides the only way to get into contact with Jay is to just send him, as not a friend, a message on Facebook. And I'm going to read this exchange in the Nick voice and as me.
Okay, yeah, please.
From Nick. If you wanted to prove how petty you've become since high school, he's really drilling that.
It's his only line.
Good job. You did. Spineless shit like this is why I blocked you in the first place. It's not like I fucking killed his dog or something. Jesus. And then I just said, I thought I blocked you. That's not the point. We're not in high school. Which is like him saying I can't like fuck around with him. Creating a false account is the epitome of going too far. If our friendship meant anything to you, you will delete that page and just let us go our separate ways without resorting to childish shit like that.
Where does the Nick voice begin and the Dave Mustaine voice end?
It began with me and Joseph back in the day doing same,
vice versa,
doing the same shit.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, my Mustaine voice that sounds nothing like Mustaine, and also my Nick voice sounds nothing like Nick.
Right.
He was just kind of nasally, so I turned into just this angry nerdy guy. So I responded, the point is you blocked/unfriended me after I teased you about Suicide Squad with the I irritated exactly who I needed to comment. On my own page, mind you, without tagging you or anything. I couldn't even make a friendly, almost indirect jab at you without you deleting me. When you unfriend someone, that's a full relationship ender, especially when you have no other contact or connection previously. So why are you talking to me about our friendship? You shut the book. Over Suicide Squad! Keep in mind, this is all after you gave me that direct fuck you when you didn't stop me from heading to class when you knew the school was closed for the day and I didn't. None to mention during our sparse few interactions before that, you became more and more irritable and negative toward me when I was being friendly and accommodating for no reason I could ascertain. Here's something you didn't know. Me and a couple of close friends marvel at your page on a daily basis because it became a bad meme share factory in our minds. Some of the stuff is so bad in our eyes that we will snapshot it and send it to someone else, trying to figure out what would even compel you to hit share. You said I was obnoxious in a post. Dude, what do you think spamming cancerous memes and cringy posts all day long on Facebook is? Unless content is incredible or genuinely stirring/amusing, I don't put anything on Facebook. The fact that you vape and make puns and have a tool tattoo led to the creation of the Nick account after the Suicide Squad incident. Yeah, I took it too far, but it wasn't just me. Not that it matters, but 3 people, I kind of, whatever. 3 people ran that parody account. We clearly weren't impersonating you, which is how you got the account down. We were lampooning what in our eyes were your lamest qualities and spreading it to everyone who was on your side in that situation. That unfriending incident just set me off, and you know I always take things way too far to drive a point home or get somebody back. What do you think so far?
I think we're really hitting a peak here. I think this is wonderful. That was great, by the way, what you said.
Well, I unfollowed you months ago because every time I saw a post from you, it was just some critical rant about someone or something. It gets old. Second, if making a jab at me is your way of saying, hey man, I miss hanging out. What? Well, it's a shitty way to do it. You could just fucking text me. And I didn't know school was closed that day. That doesn't mean it was an attack on you. Third, you used my fucking picture in that account, and I don't appreciate that. You making or allowing someone else to make a page just to jab at some of the goofy shit I post or some of my lifestyle choices. Vaping is a lifestyle choice. Show you don't respect me or the fact that we were friends. That's petty and weird.
Weird.
Yeah, it is, but whatever. And you should know that. You should know that if a... Okay, hold on. You should know that, if a, quote-unquote, friend is going to do that, they're definitely not going to do it secretly and then pop up randomly. That shows you know it's insulting and rude. Yeah, fuck you, dude. Also, unfriending on Facebook is not a relationship ender. It just means I don't care to see the stuff you post. Okay, so unfollow my, you can do that. You can just unfollow me on Facebook. You're incessantly critical. I tried to be friends with you, but it's always Jay-centric. Your schedule, your eccentricities, etc., and it's tiresome. If you wanted to hang out, you've had a phone my number in it this entire fucking time. Friendship is a two-way street, but you hit me up to chill maybe one time in the last year and a half. It was almost always me hitting you up, and it makes it seem like you didn't care to be friends, which is not true. He never does that. The last year of you not hitting me up seemed to solidify that notion. I would have been fine, grabbing lunch and catching up. But if you spend your free time just mocking me and everyone else who is trying to find something to make the days lighter, I don't care to see you again. If you're going to take something as silly as a meme that seriously and go on a tirade of judgment, you genuinely need to reevaluate your priorities and what it means to be a decent human being. Being overly critical of everything that doesn't conform to your idea of what's okay is not the way you go about making or keeping friends. Unless your friends are just as petty and judgmental as you.
Alright, I'll take that.
I'm not like that anymore. I try not to be. I've done my best to work on depression, and this is where it gets unbelievable. Hold on, you need a little more of a backdrop for this. Nick was always saying, like telling me, if I'm not smoking weed, I get crazy. It's like I'm doing Jared Leto here. I'll be, shut the fuck up.
If I don't get my 21 pilots, I'm gonna go off the edge.
Okay, so Nick always wanted to think he had some kind of really bad mental illness, but he refused to ever see a shrink, which, I'm a big, proponent of mental health and therapy and all that, that kind of stuff. I think it's really effective, but he would never do it. And so he came to the conclusion a couple years ago that he had bipolar disorder just based off, like, his research.
Yeah, okay.
And, you know, the funny thing about this is my sister has bipolar disorder.
So you know it.
Yeah, I know it really well.
Yeah.
And she's had a really bad, like, time. Like, bipolar disorder is something a lot of people don't survive if they don't get diagnosed. Nick has never been diagnosed. And he just, I don't know if he thinks it makes him edgy or it, like, helps him explain why he's such a sack of shit. But nothing, I'll get into it in my next response. Anyway.
Everyone wants to own the sob story.
Anyway,
is what it comes
and, like,
down
I
to.
was really insulted by him even bringing this up because he knows how my sister is. And so he says, I've done my best to work on my depression and bipolar disorder since high school, and all you seem to do is bring me down with your quote-unquote everything is shit attitude. You just criticize and mock everything, including me, and it's not helpful or healthy. I don't do this to him. Like, this, like, concentrated bit of shit we did was the first time it's happened in, like ever really directly to him. If you want to apologize for the page and start fresh, I'd be willing to start fresh.
Bullshit.
If you want to leave it as it is and never contact me again, that's fine. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. But you should know that that page was a dick move and not something a friend would do. And at this point, I'm just like, in my head, you know, Nick, like, I haven't communicated with you anyway, and you fucking annoy me. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want any of this because you're just fucking shitty all the time. Like, why would I want to be your friend? Why are you hanging on to, like, oh, high school was so holy? Man, what the fuck? High school sucked. Anyway, my final responses are very brutal.
Please.
You seem to be in denial about several of the things you've done. I'd break them all down for you, but there's no use. Well, maybe I'll do one. I called you when I got to the campus and found it closed. You said you knew classes were canceled then. That you thought I knew. There is no twisting that. You want to talk about dick moves, then that's all we need on the table. I can neither confirm nor deny the existence of your bipolar disorder, but based off the ways you've spoken very disrespectfully about my sister and her legitimate diagnosed bipolar disorder in the past, let me bring that up. She's had various suicide attempts, and Nick basically told me if she really was going to commit suicide, she'd fucking do it and not be a coward. He told me that in the past. Yeah. Like
I can't even
like
say
he's saying
about that.
Like he's saying she didn't have the balls. Like what?
Yeah, like it's so easy.
And
like it's so easy, but I'm working on my depression.
And so yeah,
you should know it.
That really bothered me. Anyway, I highly doubt. Okay, wait. But based off the ways you've spoken very disrespectfully about my sister and her legitimate diagnosed bipolar disorder in the past, I highly doubt you have much knowledge of it. We did spend a lot of time together in the past, and nothing about your behavior exhibited even the most remote qualities of manic depression. Except for he had some incident where he, like, said he blacked out in the car, which I don't even know. That has nothing to do with any of it. You shouldn't even bring it up. It's not going to explain any of the issues that have brought us here. Bipolar disorder isn't the only mental illness my sister suffers from. Undoubtedly, she is worse off than you, and she is highly functional, and has a full-time job in her field, and doesn't need pop culture garbage and memes to distract her from her depression. She shares my critical view of the world because she understands that surrounding herself with quality, lasting entertainment, ideas, and people can make you happier than if you accept everything of low quality, i.e. puns, trash TV, memes, vaping, pop music, standard blockbusters, etc. It doesn't hold her back a bit. She doesn't have to distract herself with insipid things as you allege you do just to be happy. Basically, I said as well, you know, I've gone through plenty of depression and all that, and, you know, I don't need to ingest a steady supply of memes and videos that 30 people on my friends list have already shared to make myself happy or add levity to my day. What you do on Facebook daily indicates a marked lack of judgment, self-awareness, and sense that I feel I have and seek in others. So arriving at that point, there's no need to even try to repair anything. You will continue to be yourself. The meme king, feeding off of garbage like Suicide Squad, which I saw yesterday. We walked out 2/3 through, and everything else that makes my skin crawl. And I will continue to be a discriminating person about what I think matters, which will piss you off, or at best make you block or ignore me. That makes us incompatible. I have little reference for high school anymore. It was a bad time for me. I was a different person. People grow apart. That's life. How many people do you really communicate with from high school regularly? Not too many, I'm sure. In this case, I feel that I have outgrown rather than grown apart. I don't need to see your response because it will just be more of you not hearing me, not truly understanding, just more deflection and missing the point. That's why I'm blocking you now. Comments on all of this, because that's a lot of stuff to take in.
I've never had a confrontation quite like that. And it's like, it's weird to see it on like a Facebook Messenger. I don't know, like.
Yeah, it's a weird way to handle it. It really is. And
I always think about, like, you know, in hindsight is 2020. You always say, like, oh man,
Dave Mustaine once said that.
If I could go back and just, like, you know, do whatever, go back to high school knowing what I know, I'd say this or whatever.
Yeah, me
but,
too.
Like, I think if I really did do that, I'd still, like, cower in fear and be like, I'm not going to say that.
Some situations can't be fixed.
I don't think I could ever say anything like that to someone I know personally.
Like I haven't known this guy really in a while.
I applaud you. That was really well written.
To
most
me,
of it, so
to me, he just became like another person. So that person's dead to me. Why do I fucking want to communicate with you? Like, he's trying to save it. Like, I still want to be his friend. After all of this, it's like, what can we do? What can we fucking do? And I was so angry with all of it at this point.
He was trying to take the high road.
So I just said, look, I'm not. It's like I do with the people on Xbox Live. I'm not even going to give you the ability to fucking send me another message. So, with all that in mind, it all kind of blew over. There were a few days that passed. And I remembered that he still had my copy of Cowboy Bebop, and I was like, fuck. The complete Cowboy Bebop on DVD. I'll just get the Blu-ray version remastered. But I was like, all right, whatever. I'm going to buy the Blu-ray version anyway. I don't need the old standard definition shit. And came home. I was coming home one day, and I got a call from my dad. And he was like, hey, I got some stuff in the mailbox. I don't really know what it is. I was like, what? Well, what is that? I don't know. It's a.
This just continues. Like, I can't believe how big this is.
It's a copy of Red Dragon by Thomas Harris with a printed out note folded in half that says, I've been an asshole, in the past. I apologize for that. I'm working on it. Hope you're doing well and everything works out for you. And it was Nick. He went to my fucking old house that he knew me from high school in, and I had forgotten he had my copy of Orange is the New Black Season 1 on DVD, my copy of Red Dragon, and the Cowboy Bebop collection. He fucking stuck it in my mailbox with a printed note that is 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences, and he had to print it. He couldn't just write this down. He fucking printed it. Like, can you see him sitting there doing this and, like, prepare, like, what?
Taking the high road.
So, in the end, he still kind of feels bad. Which, about this situation, I feel nothing. So, I'm so happy and feel I came out on top.
I was going to say, while looking at your messages, I get anxious when, I post a YouTube comment, and I'm just, waiting for someone to respond. So much so that I'll, type it out, submit it, then, 3 minutes later, I'll be like, oh, no, I'll delete it. Because I'm just I don't want to hear what people say.
Well, this is not just some anonymous person.
Right, but if I had to wait for the responses that, he gave you, I would probably go insane. I'd just be like, oh, I can't take it.
I was kind of, dreading them, but
that's how I feel.
It was
that's how I always feel about stuff like that.
I'm just so, I don't know. I'm so numb to the whole situation now. After he destroyed the Nick parody page, I was like, you have fucking ruined it.
Your argument was really well presented and written, so it was like...
Well, I'm not going to say I was being nice or, right at all, hardly, but I was just fed up with the guy.
Yeah.
Just absolutely fed up. Any closing comments about all of this? What is there to say?
You said all of it, really.
Yeah.
Those messages said all of it.
And I apologize for, making so much of the podcast this, and a lot of me just talking, but I feel like this has to be immortalized.
Our podcast, as we've said many times before, is more of our digital scrapbook, so...
But everything led up to this. Seriously.
Yeah.
It was an incredible wave that I rode.
We've defeated an RJ3K
Nick is
enemy.
Destroyed.
Right. Well, you've defeated. I mean, I had.
You helped. You helped, man. You were loading the cannons practically. And so, after they got the Nick page taken down for impersonation, I posted the vaping picture and another one you had done of him in the car, holding the Margot Robbie framed.
Yeah, I forgot about
framed Margot Robbie picture, just like clutching it.
Totally forgot about that.
That little hand. And when I post, I added the comment on it. Nick will live forever inside all of us, but I spelled it the way I misspelled Nick's name with a K. And then Perry commented on it.
Oh, really?
Perry, who was on Nick's side, was like, "Do you really have this much time to do this?"
Of course.
That is like the easiest.
That is the default comment for people who have nothing to say.
Exactly. Like their lives, they're just constantly busy, and they can't sit down at a computer for 20 minutes a day.
No.
Like that. I have no life because I spend 20 minutes doing this shit. Like, oh my god.
Also, that comment was obviously towards me.
Wow.
Indirectly.
But it was so funny just that Perry out of nowhere, because we've fucked with Perry a little bit in pictures.
Yeah. Right. Well, actually, we just sent pictures of him.
Like a zoomed in picture of him.
They were already funny.
But I brought it up, how absurd they were. So, yeah.
Wow. An epic.
It really was the epic of Nick.
That's the end of a chapter right there. It is. An era.
And I felt like the whole thing with Nick was just like something that needed to be closed anyway.
Oh, I'm glad it's over.
And like you've commented on many times, I have quite the habit of burning bridges, and this was another one that I just didn't want. I just didn't need it. It was gross to me. Something needed to stop me from doing the sick thing of looking at Nick's page every day just to get mad.
Well, like I said,
it's unhealthy somehow.
I was the mole, the inside man. Still friends with him on Facebook. If you ever need it,
I appreciate that.
Let me know.
Well, I believe now we've arrived. Music picks of the week. I want to do. This is our next to last podcast. I think. Because you said we'd be doing something Thursday, right? You said you were available.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know your schedule or anything.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I want to get to 22 podcasts, and I thought for a while about my last 2 music picks.
We still got Christmas coming. That's not even
Wait,
that
no.
far
I
away.
mean, for like this time you're around.
You make it sound so final. It scares me. Look, it scares me. I don't like it. I don't like all this death talk.
I'm going to kill myself after you leave. RJ3K was everything. No. But, so, I feel like I've been choosing a little too much jingly-jangly indie rock bullshit pop. I want something raucous, something mean, something that might play in a bar, something dusty, something grimy, something that's just rancid, raw, and all over the place, rowdy, nasty boys slinging fists. That's how I describe this song. There's a band that was known as The Shocking Blue back in the day. They were kind of a Jefferson Airplane ripoff band, but they had a couple of really good songs, and one was called Send Me a Postcard. And there is a stoner / light metal band that did a cover of that song, and the band is Big Business. Here's Send Me a Postcard. Tell me about the song.
Oh, I liked it.
It's not for everybody.
Raucous bar fight.
Makes
me want to smash a boy over the head with a Miller.
Yeah. It's like a roller coaster of a song. Another thing, the same band that did the original song in the '60s, The Shocking Blue, did that horrible song for. I think it's used in like Venus Fiore commercials. I'm your Venus. I'm your fire. Except it was a real song. And that's like a pop version of it remade.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Fun fact. Anyway, you.
You sent me a link to a song, gosh, like 2012.
Ooh. Digging
Of
deep.
a band. A pop punk band called Joyce Manor.
Wow. Yeah, I know what this is.
And that just... I really like this song. It's also like raucous, rowdy boys.
Oh, shit.
I'm going with Chumped by Joyce Manor. Thank you for giving me the inspiration.
Well, yeah, that's a fresh pick, man. I haven't listened to them so long. They got a new album coming.
One of the few bands or albums that I have on my phone.
I like it a lot.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. It's very youthful, young, and raw, but also it's in touch with its emotions, and it's fast, quick, easy to digest. You're on the go. Listen to this while you're on the toilet, on your break at work. Get pumped, ready to sling some stuff. So what do we do? Get rid of this podcast. How we get rid of it? How we put her down?
Oh jeez, oh man, I don't know where to go after.
Tell me more, Marathon Man. Ah!